I'm Elisa Parker. It is the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, and we have been sharing the stories of extraordinary people, including filmmakers and their subjects, in some cases special guests. A lot of the themes have been around hope, inclusivity, listening, and of course our theme is unity and community, which you can feel that, right, John? Just here, unity and community.
Unity and community. I can't say it, but I agree. Yeah.
Oh, you're like, what am I saying? We were just talking about being older. Unity and community.
Who came up with that?
I don't know. No, I didn't, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a pretty good
one. It doesn't
one.
exactly trip off your tongue.
Unity and community.
Yeah, okay.
Got to say it 3 times. So, but John's he's a veteran here at Wild and Scenic for many years. We were just talking about over a decade. I don't know.
Can't pin it down exactly.
No, but it's been a while. And you are always creating extraordinary films, and they're always pertinent to what's going on in the world, sometimes even in your own backyard in the Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
This one that you're screening here is called Dear President Biden. And you were just saying how it's, just watching it recently, the relevancy and timeliness, unfortunately, sometimes. Tell us about it.
Well, we filmed it in 2022. And
during COVID.
During kind of the tail end of COVID.
Oh, that's true. Right.
And we focus on activists around the country who may or may not have been helped by Biden's promise to make climate change a huge part of his administration.
Right.
And so the film is a very polite but firm questioning of the president. Are you living up to your campaign promises? And then kind of sadly, the half dozen, 7 or 8 activists we focused on in Texas and Louisiana and Iowa and Philadelphia and New Jersey and Virginia have not been helped by the Biden administration.
Wow.
Yeah. But, I hadn't seen it. What happens is you focus, when you're making these films, you focus so much on the small screen that I had not had the opportunity to see on the big screen until today.
Wow.
And it looked great, sounded great, which is a testament to your AV team here at
sure.
Wild and Scenic. Looked fantastic. But, we're here on whatever it is, we're on the 18th of February, and there's this still horrific ongoing crisis in western Ohio, where this train went off the tracks and derailed, and all the chemicals are on fire. And in our film, it kind of predicts this. I've made actually a couple of films that predicted this, but this was in New Jersey, where they wanted to build a liquefied natural gas plant underneath the Philadelphia airport, and there were these quote-unquote bomb trains filled with highly flammable, toxic chemicals coursing through, suburbs and next to schools and hospitals and universities, etc. And sure enough, one came off the rails a couple weeks ago, and it's created this tremendous hazard, which some are saying could be the worst environmental contamination in the U.S.'s history. But so we reference it in the movie, and so it reminds me that actually you can be kind of prescient.
You are. You're calling. Well, you always do that. You're calling things. You're calling it out. When is? I mean, we ask this all the time. Like, when's enough? Enough. When is the? Here you're hearing from these key activists and such. I mean, you've traveled around the world. You just said, I knew you had done adventures in Antarctica. I didn't know you kayaked around the world. I didn't know that.
Kayaked around the world, but we've made films on every continent, including Oceania, and 2 in Antarctica, including the only 3D movie shot in Antarctica.
Wow.
So I've been around.
You've been around.
I'm old. But we, in the last half dozen years, we've really been focused on our own backyard, which I think is interesting for all of us to remind ourselves that you don't have to travel halfway around the world to find good stories.
Well, and you were even saying when we chatted on Friday that when I was asking you about the pandemic and how you were navigating that, and you said just paying attention to your backyard.
Yeah. Well, and so that part of it I like. We did a series called Hope on the Hudson, which we actually, believe it or not, sold to Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah, you can binge on Hope on the Hudson films.
Okay.
It's a 9-part series.
You just keep going.
Yeah. But this, the film we're showing here this year is Dear President Biden, but this is the 4th in my Dear series.
Okay.
Dear Governor Cuomo.
Yes.
Was first.
Yeah.
We showed that here very proudly
I remember
and
that.
happily. Yeah. And which went a long ways towards helping Governor Cuomo decide to ban fracking in New York State.
Yeah.
Dear President Obama, in which we kind of critiqued Obama a little bit for his quote unquote all of the above energy policy. In other words, whatever you suggest, I'll go for.
Yeah.
And then we made Dear Governor Brown, looking at California as governor and how he was at that point traveling around the world, wagging his finger at countries to keep their, to keep their fossil fuels underground. Meanwhile, California is drilling 300 wells a month, etc.
Right.
And then, Dear President Biden. So these are they're not super critical, but they are really kind of a polite but firm invitation
it's more than an edge.
To live up to your promises.
Well, and as you said, you've seen some positive outcomes from your films.
Yeah.
How did you select these specific activists?
That's a good question. Well, we were kind of looking for people who were seriously engaged. I mean, these are not lightweight activists.
Right, deep divers.
Yeah, Sharon Levine with Rise Up St. James in Cancer Alley down in Louisiana. I mean, she's a serious player in terms of getting things stopped.
Right.
John Beard in Port Arthur, Texas, fighting LNG plants and the oil refineries in Port Arthur. And then up in Iowa, we ran into a kind of, for lack of a better word, naive / first-term activist who was fighting the idea that they want to build these monstrous pipelines across the state of Iowa, carrying carbon that they've captured out of the sky and captured out of smokestacks, and it's just it's unbelievable. And guess whose idea carbon capture was?
Who?
Fossil fuel companies. I mean, it's the carbon capture and storage is the most bogus excuse since fracking.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Of all the places that you've been to, I know your heart is in the Hudson.
I love that. I live in the Hudson Valley. I love the Hudson Valley.
You love that. But what's another place that's, of all the places you've been to, that resonate with you and you feel deeply connected to, and even helping to protect, and that we need to know about?
Well, my two favorite places are Antarctica, where I've been a couple dozen times.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone scuba diving there? Have you gone diving in Antarctica, or was it just kayaking?
I've jumped into the water.
You
no, I've not.
did?
No, but the photographers I travel with do.
They do.
But I have not. But Antarctica is my favorite, in part because it's this canary in the bell tower that is, as Antarctica changes, the climate change around the world will continue to evolve.
Yeah.
But my second favorite is Polynesia.
Oh.
Yeah, it couldn't be more different. But Antarctica has no population. Nobody lives in Antarctica.
No one lives there.
But in Polynesia, you have this incredible original culture. So, I mean, I do like people. I'm a storyteller.
Right.
I
you
need.
do, right? You
I
need that.
people.
That's clear. Right.
I'm an ocean hero at
Polynesia, like the French Polynesian.
French Polynesian.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm an ocean hero at National Geographic, and I swear I'm the only ocean hero who doesn't, who's not particularly wed to fish. I need people. I need people who live and endure on the edge of the sea.
Right. Two great places. I've never been to Antarctica, but I've been to Moorea.
Everyone should go. Yeah.
Okay, we should all go to Antarctica. What?
Well, if you've been to Moorea, then you need to go to the Tuamotus.
Okay.
Which is, there are 5 island groups that make up French Polynesia, and the Tuamotus is spread out over 1,000 miles.
Wow. Okay.
Mostly atolls, but you can get there.
Okay. All right. Well, you always inspire me, John. Every time, I'm on your newsletter, I'm like, where is he now? Yeah. What is he doing now?
You haven't unsubscribed from my...
No, of course not. I'm not unsubscribed. And real quick, what do you want to tell everybody about what you love most about this festival and why they need to be part of it?
I'm sitting here. You're sharing this story with so many people. And that's what we make these stories to be shared. We don't make these stories to put in a desk drawer. So the ability to come here and sit and share them with your folks, and the screening we did this morning was fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, John. It's always good to see you.
Always, yeah.
And now I'm going to go up to Hudson Valley. Now that I'm in New York, I totally am.
No offense, but come to the Woodstock Film Festival.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
When is the Woodstock Film Festival?
September, October. End of September, October.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great. All right. Well, Jon Bowermaster.
The Woodstock Film Festival is the Wild and Scenic Film Festival of the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, a lot of these characters wander around out on the streets here. I'll bet you kind of see the same guys on the streets.
Wow.
So,
I'm excited. Now I'm excited to explore it.
Yeah.
Exploration, that's a big part of the festival as well. We, in addition to environmental action, it's obviously tied to action and adventure and exploration, and they're all interconnected. In addition to the people, Jon loves the people, and that's what keeps us going and connected. So keep connected with your people and your community. It's unity and community, Jon. Unity and community. All right, I'm Elisa Parker, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thanks, Jon.